Correlation coefficient is a number that indicates how close our data points are to the line of best fit. A number that indicates how close our data points are to the line of best fit. And we are going to eyeball that. We're not going to do any specific calculations, and we're going to kind of just practice that a little bit. So the best is 1, which would mean a positive slope, and all points on line. Or a negative 1, so negative slope, on all points on the line. The worst is a 0. So there's no pattern. We couldn't draw on a line, so no pattern, no line. And it can also help us to determine accuracy. If our points are closer to the line, it's more accurate. So on your summative, you're going to need to talk about accuracy. This is another piece that you can bring in. So if the points are closer to the line, then our prediction is tends to be more accurate. So now we're just going to match. I'm giving you a whole bunch of different correlation coefficients, and that variable for that is an R. Somebody just decided it needed to be an R. And then we're going to kind of look at what they represent. So perfect, positive, linear. So positive obviously means it has to be positive, but if it's perfect, and our best we said was 1, this is going to be a C. No linear relationship, that's what we said the worst would be a 0. So as close as we can get to a 0, whether that's a positive value or a negative value, it doesn't matter. And that looks like F would be the closest we can get to 0, because that's closer than the negative 0.23 if you think about our number line. A weak negative linear. So again, all of these have to be linear. So a weak negative means it's not very good. So it's either going to be D or E. I'm just going to wait. So I'm on Notability, so I'm going to say D or E. Put a dot next to them, because there might be something else that I need for that one. It could be the negative 0.23 too. Let's throw in an A too, just in case. Let's see, we got some strong ones. We got number 7 says a perfect negative linear. So I know that's G. Strong then would be kind of like my next number. So a strong positive is going to be 0.94. So B, because that's pretty close to a 1. A strong negative, the best negative that I have left is E. So if we have a weak negative, of these two, my weakest one is going to be A. I would actually take A or D for an answer. Oh, but we have a moderate negative. I missed that one. So we're going to have to put A here for our weak, and then D here. Oh, we could do an E here as well, right? Because we haven't used that one. So let's put E on this one. Just because that's not really a great number, but it would definitely be better than the D. So this one I would say is A or D. I would take either one of those. And then again, we're just kind of looking at it again. If I drew in my line of best fit on this points, I'm pretty much touching every point. It's not perfect, so and it's positive slope. So if it's a positive slope, that means my only options are A, C, or F. But I'm going to pick the C because that's the best one that I have. Looking at the next one, it's positive. My points are kind of far off, so I would have some options with that. I would have 0.76 or 0.85, but they're kind of further out. I would pick more of an A. I'm kind of looking also at what I wouldn't be using. 11 is definitely a negative. And I would say my points are closer to the line here than they were here. So if this one's a 0.76, it should be better than that. My options for negative are B, D, and E. So B would pretty much mean there's no correlation, so it's not going to be B. And E says it's pretty bad, but it's also worse than this one, so my best option would be D. So we're just kind of using some reasoning on there. And the last one, if I drew in my line, I would probably almost draw it straight across, which would actually, it's a slope of 0, but it's still considered a positive slope.